Hello, everyone. I am having a technical difficulty here with my webcam. I hope everyone can hear me. Can you make it sound? I don't have a camera right now. Sorry.
That's fine, Bong. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to start this evening. We have a phenomenal speaker for all of us tonight. Gurjot Rehal is a young entrepreneur from Winnipeg, Canada, extremely successful in her business and extremely successful in her professional life. And so we want to hear from her how to develop a business, an online business in today's day and age. So over to you, Gurjot.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm Gurjot Rehal. I'm coming to you live from my home in Winnipeg, Canada. And I'm really excited to be sharing a business plan with you, a business opportunity that I was once reached out and introduced to as well. And similarly to you, someone said, are you looking for something extra to do? And a few things that I was looking for was a way to increase my income, to increase my skill set, and to also look forward in life and secure myself and my family. So I would just love to see a virtual raise of hands from anyone who's here for the first time, please, just to get a look, first or second time even. Great. Welcome to this virtual evaluation session. So the purpose of today is to share information about what we do as a team. And we have a few people here that we look to collaborate and expand all the time. And we look to do that with like-minded people. So I will be sharing some information and some slides. And this is something that I have been able to do in a full-time venture. So a little bit about me. I am an accountant, so I have a background in accounting and supply chain management. And I've studied at two of the top business schools in Canada. So one is the Asper School of Business in Winnipeg, and another is the Sauder School of Business in University of British Columbia. And I was always looking to be around business-minded people. The word business as well, I misunderstood it even when I was studying it. And I was looking to be around people what I associated business with, which is people who have wealth. When I was in school studying, I attended a private school. And in private school, you go there because you have some family background that can afford you that kind of tuition. So my father was a medical doctor. And as a medical doctor, he could afford me this education. It was meant to be the kind of education that gets you on what we all associate success with, which is a really good education, a really good job. My private school had a 99% top university program. So that's how they'd market to parents, that if you can send your kid here, we can get them to an education, a post-secondary education or university, in which they're guaranteed to get into a top school. So I worked with, the second I was in that school, I was being vetted to go to business school. And I loved that, I loved that I felt so secure and so safe. And I thought I had everything set out for me. And I'm gonna share a little bit of where I'm coming from, because when I was looking for opportunities, I just needed to know, and this was the hardest thing to find, I needed to know that who I was going to be working with would have my back or would be able to really help me move forward. So the reason I bring that up, I'm going to share some information slides here, is our business overview. So with our concept, our business plan that I'll go over with you here, it's in the 21st century. So times have really changed. So my father was a doctor, like I said. He come from a very poor background. He came from a poor home in East Africa, and education was the only ticket for him to succeed, and that was why me working forward to get into university, it was what he knew. It's how he succeeded and how he grew. But also coming from that background, he saw a lot of a different culture than what we have in North America, which is they own assets, they own land, they own their homes. There's no such thing as creditors and those kind of things. So I would always consult with him in university. As soon as I was attending business school, the banks were telling me and teaching me how to grow credit and how to get debt. And they're already setting you up to become indebted to the banks, and this really, when I would speak with him, he'd say, no, he would always advise me, make sure you have an asset, make sure you're ahead of credit, make sure you're not having debt. It's okay to have credit because it helps you get things. Without it, I can't afford a car or a house or etc. I can't be approved. Yet I shouldn't be servicing debt for the rest of my life, which is a trap so many people fall into. And I really saw this when I was studying accounting and how it really tricks people, and that is why it's so important that I'm really proud of you for coming out to this event tonight, because it's important to learn how to grow your wealth. It's important to know that you don't only have one option and you're capable of doing more. And what our team is about with this business plan, with the business of the 21st century, is we are about helping people create wealth retention, helping them grow their household asset, free themselves of credit and debt, being able to get more out of life without having to pay bill all the time, and I experienced this myself. So the second thing that I would like to show you, of course, is what we do as a team. So as a team, we do team expansion. Now, for us to grow, we're not a corporation. So we're not looking to hire employees. You can get hired anywhere. I was working as an accountant. So I was also, when I was in university, I was working jobs. Those are things that I can be very expendable in. And again, those are time exchange for money. I'll go into a little bit more detail about that as well. So working here, or how I was invited here, actually, I was invited to look at this by my father, because what happened when I was explaining my private school background to you, when I was 15 at that school, and I felt all that security, I felt that financial security. What happened is my father actually fell into a coma, and he was the primary breadwinner of our family. So this changed things overnight for me. I suddenly went from being just a girl who was like talking about her Starbucks order in the morning with her friends, talking about the trips that we're going to go on in the summer. Suddenly that lifestyle changed and my eyes expanded, because I started to see that without money, you can't really secure things. And my dad's health was way more important to me than how much he earned as a person. That's not how I measured my love for him. But the truth is, without money, how could I take care of my family? Or it changed my concept of what it can do for you. It became less about material things and more about affording things. And the most important things in this life for everybody is your home, your shelter. Do you have food? And do you have quality connections? Quality of life is more important. So I met people here who lived that lifestyle, and they taught me, which is why we do our business plan and information this way, to really exchange person to person, that character is more important than credentials. Credentials are still transactional, right? So like I said, I went to the top 2 business schools, but those don't mean I'm successful in business or a business or anything. It just means I have read a lot of textbooks and passed a lot of tests and done it better than a lot of people to get into more competitive colleges. Outside of that, as a character, what if I hadn't gone through experience I've gone through that allowed me to actually care about people or look for building something quality? Then what happens is I'm not somebody I think you would want to be in business with. So the character became more important to me as well. I started learning that if I want to move forward in life, I want to do it with people I trust. And therefore, to get trust, we have to be really transparent about our actions, what we do, what we're looking to accomplish. And that's why in education as well, you may be here. I would love to see a raise of virtual hands. Do you have a post-secondary degree? Have you been to university already? Yeah. And have you done more than one degree maybe, or post-grad? Yeah. And what about beyond school? Have you ever experienced this, that the first question someone asks you is, what do you do? Yeah, I experience that all the time. People ask me, what do you do? As a measure of how much they think a connection with me is worth, versus where are you going? What are you accomplishing? Or how happy are you, even like that? And I started to also transfer how I view education, which is why prior to going over my business plan with you this evening, I'm going to share some facts, some really, really important facts for us all to understand, so that in today's society, we don't become in debt to banks. We can actually create wealth for ourselves. And then you can make an opinion based off of those facts. So as I go through this, you would have been told perhaps to keep notes of this meeting, so you have all the information ready to consult with who invited you. In that case, build a case for yourself as well. There's a lot of great information I'm going to cover, and beyond the information as well. As a team, we're looking for people who have the same integrity and accountability as us. We're looking for people before profit, because a person is valuable. We're looking for a level of ambition, and we're looking for a great decision-making process. And why are we looking for all these things? So that if this business is the right fit, if you are the right fit for us, then you're set up to succeed and you're on the same page. Okay, so moving forward, I'm going to talk about this first. So when I described that story about my father, he was in what we call the E and S quadrant. So if you look at these income generators on this slide here, blue is employee, green is self-employed, and that light green is business owner on the right. The orange is investor. Now, you notice that there's a sidebar to each. And let me explain this. So an employee is someone who has a job. You know, everyone has worked a job. Almost everyone has worked a job, unless you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. And the thing is, in a job, you don't have leverage. I described my father's situation. Let me share another one. Someone that I know, close friend of mine, worked for a company for 32 years, impeccable record, and was recently told or accused of stealing something from there. And just like that, there's no leverage. Strange. And I've heard so many such stories. Layoffs very recently, if you follow the news, so many big companies, Twitter is one example I'll share, are laying off people because those employees work for them. They don't have a leverage. They're expendable. This is what no leverage means. That's one thing to understand about that position. The other thing to understand is the way the money is made. That's why it's called income generator. So if money is made, it's time exchanged for dollars. So you're doing that, like, let's say you're working an 8-hour day in an office. Who here is employed? Did you come back from work today? Yeah. So the time you put in as an employee and you came back, that time is what you're transacted for. You can earn a lot of money. So you can earn minimum wage. Minimum wage, in my opinion, is just a dream stealing thing of the government. We're so much more worth than a minimum wage, right? But that minimum wage is that's it. And then you can have a higher wage, a high salary. Maybe you're really proficient and skilled. Maybe you're earning 6 figures as an employee, but the leverage is not there. Okay, an example of this, by being a business owner, I recently got back from being able to dilly-dally around the country for almost a month at no expense to losing a job. And I was stuck in snow, I was stuck in all these things, but I had another friend of mine who was like, oh my God, they're going to fire me. She was freaking out over one day she couldn't get sick leave for her dad, take her dad to a hospital. And she was afraid of being fired one day. And that's the power of having leverage, you see. Next is self-employed. Self-employed is still a job. You're just a self-employed individual, meaning you own your own job. It's great because you have independence, meaning my friend in that example could have taken a sick day because she would be the boss. But there's no leverage in the activity creation, meaning that you still need to be physically present. You still need to exchange time for money. Now, understanding this is why having another source of income is so important. In both of these situations, if your time is the ratio that gets you money, meaning without you being able to put in time, you can't make money, that is very deadly. That's a very thin thread. It's like if you imagine a tightrope walker, that rope is your job. And if you slip, that's just how it goes. And I've seen this a lot. I think we can all relate to this, because if you yourself or someone you know experienced some lack of security or leverage in a position because of COVID-19, hey, that's quite, that we've all seen somebody like that. I've seen people who were a very close friend of mine, so good at their job, like the best employee ever and super valuable to their company, but the company could no longer afford them because on the other side, so they had the time to put in. Now on the other side, there was no money to pay them for their time. That is also a lack of leverage. Now, understanding these income generators is why I was excited to be invited to something like this. So I didn't know what it was, but I understood this very powerfully, that if we're going to be, if I want to do something, I need to have leverage outside of an employer self-employed job. I need something. And I don't need to be a millionaire. You may have some very material goals, and that's great. That's you. Every individual is their own person. For me, my goals are very simple. Security. I explained where I was coming from. And I understood that to be a business owner, after doing all this business school, being a business owner is not just a fancy word. It actually means something. It means creating leverage for yourself. But the really unique thing is how to create leverage for yourself and help people to do the same thing, to help others. So not just to be someone who makes no difference in the economy or in people's lives, but to actually build teams so that because of you, people will be better off, that you are creating and serving people in your community. Now, how to do that? I'm going to get into specifics about how we do that. And the last income generator here you see is investing in the orange. So you can also create leverage as a business owner with teams of people. Why? Because multiple people can take away the time of no leverage of time, right? And investor, orange, money work for you. What does that mean? That means your money can create more money. Now there's investing is two things. One is it's an actual thing you do, as in you put down money in a stock or something and you hope it pays you back. So that's a physical. The other is the mental investing. The mental investment I put into understanding this is why today I have the leverage I have today, right? So that's another thing. Other investment is, where is your money going on a day-to-day basis? So the real beauty about what we do as a team, which we're going to get into now, is that you can create time and money doing what you're already doing and learning how to invest without something that takes, expertise. You're basically going to be learning how to invest in your consumer habits. And it's such a smart thing to do, because if you want to do something that you can do in addition to your work, you want to do something that you can do beyond, that can give you amazing results, but that's not going to take you another university degree to accomplish. Rather, it takes the help and guidance of people who are already successful and therefore can help you. So you guys with me so far? We're going to move into some specifics now, which is really exciting. So how can you make money from your consumer habits? This is so exciting. You see on the left-hand side here, and it's very simple. It says industrial age model. You in the green, this is the cycle of a consumer. A consumer goes to a job. You see that light green says your job. So you may be working, let's say in IT. You may be an accountant. You may be a physician. You may be a lawyer. You may be running a small business of your own, maybe an electrician or something like this. Perhaps managing a store. When you're doing these things, you put in your time, you earn money, and you repeat the cycle. What happens to that money? Very simple. It goes to your shelter, so your mortgage or your rent. It goes to your car, if you have one. It goes to your phone bill, it goes to your internet bill. It goes to groceries. It goes to clothes. It may go to your kids. Kids are very expensive, I hear. It goes to small things. Now, the money you're earning from an employer, it's their money and you're time dependent to earn that money. The next transaction that happens is when you're purchasing something, that money goes to the store, which is somebody else's business or asset. So in both scenarios here, your time and your money are building another person's asset. And remember when I started, I mentioned that the best advice I ever got was from my father, who said, you always want to have your own assets. Assets mean you have full value in owning something. It makes you money. It doesn't lose you money. Now, our business team hacks this consumer cycle in the information age model, which is something so unique to business of the 21st century. And today's day and age, and something you can do online. That's what says yourstore.com. This online shopping it's going to be here forever. So you see, how can you build your own asset? We switch. So while you're continuing to work for your employee, because that doesn't change, that money can instead be used to fund your own store. And that store, you are using things, so things you're already using. This is the investment mindset. So what things? I hope you brushed your teeth today. You put on some body lotion, you washed your hands, you had a shower or bath, you washed your dishes, or you're running a dishwasher. Your laundry is going to be going through this week. You may be a clean freak and really into surface cleaners, or you may be more of a convenience person and you need something to grab as a snack on the go. All these are things and items that require everyday purchasing power. So this purchasing power is what helps you, what kind of just keeps you going. Like I will buy toothpaste and use toothpaste more frequently than purchasing a television, right? It's that. So what are those kind of products and commodities that, because they're always being used again and again, how can that money stop going to someone else's store and start paying you instead? Does that make sense? Excellent. And now your network is us. For example, because someone was actively creating this wealth for themselves, they were able to invite me, guide me, and teach me how to start my own business so that I could benefit from the same concept and plan and become a part of their network. And therefore, as they're creating leverage for themselves, I'm creating leverage for myself. We are creating better community wealth, something away from being dependent on other people, and something really unique and cool. So how do we do this? So for us to operate a store, we need to have a product line and things that have to be taught, So I was not at that time an expert in terms of merchandise and products. My expertise was with physics, a lot of physics, math, and supply chain, right? So I understood supply chain really well, and that's with the movement of products. So here, this is a brand, Nutrilite, that is the #1 selling vitamins and dietary supplements brand in the entire world. It's the first and only global vitamin and dietary supplement brand with a USDA, non-GMO, NSF certified organic product line. Those are really big deals. I was introduced to this by my father, who's the doctor. This is the brand that really excited him. Now, USDA is and non-GMO, NSF certified. These are investigative authorities that actually check out the claims a company makes when they say, I'm organic. As we found out in business school, anyone can say they're organic on something and get away with it if one or two ingredients is organic. But to be USDA, non-GMO, NSF certified organic is a really big deal. Excess Energy. This is a really cool product here. The first exclusively sold sugar-free energy drink globally. Now, sports nutrition, energized strength, like proteins, pre-workout, post-workout, that's part of the Excess Sports Nutrition line. And Body Key for weight management, losing weight, gaining weight, being healthy in general, which again has become something that's harder to do for the modern person in such a sitting down world, right? Now, what is all these products? Health, wellness, sports nutrition, weight management, these are billion-dollar industries. These are huge in consumption. So for us to create a great business plan and something that works for everybody, our exclusive brands, of which Nutrilite is one, health and nutrition, we're part of the top brands in the world. And what people are having demand already, it already fits and meets the needs of a consumer. But then it just is better than what they will find in a Walmart because it's that good. Moving forward, artistry. So beauty and personal care, huge, again, $1 billion industry. Artistry is among the world's top 10 largest selling premium skincare brands. It's huge. It's sponsored Miss America Beauty pageant. There's tons of science. It uses the nutrition of Nutrilite to create the best skincare results in the world. Because it treats, unlike other skin brands, what it does is it treats your skin like the organ that it is. And it really replenishes and corrects skin pigmentation. That's a really unique thing. G&H, naturally inspired and thoughtfully made. This is personal care items. Everyone should be using a deodorant, for example. Lotion, Glister, oral care products, Satinique for the hair. There's a really cool brand in Satinique for anti-hair fall that is patented and prevents hair fall. There's so many, that's another thing to say, all these products carry a very unique patent that cannot be found in another competitor. So there's a huge reach in research and development. And another exclusive brand, we do home care and home tech. So Amway Home, better to clean, eco-friendly. So detergents, surface cleaners, bathroom cleaners, glass cleaner, you name it, dish detergents, water filtration systems, air filtration systems, and cooking. So these are things that run any home. A household has these items. So in all these cases, consumers, if you see that consumers are using such products on an ongoing basis, among other things, which I'll get to here, these kind of exclusive brands and working with major retailers and owners and their customers, you see these brands here. Apple, for example, a Subway, Adidas, these are kind of well-known brands. They're all part of a platform and marketed through a platform that allows us to become our own business owners, okay? And because the genius of this is that it runs on the household, that is how it meets the needs of anyone. That's why I'm able to connect and expand my business and share it with so many different people, myself included, just because I have a business background doesn't mean that who I learned this from, I'll get into more details, didn't have the same background as me, but they had the lifestyle I wanted to have. They had that security, right? Okay, so here we have our business platform. So all these products, exclusive brands, they're owned by this company called Amway. So Amway is something called direct sales. It's a huge billion-dollar business. It's global. It's number 43 in America's largest private companies. Being a private company is very important because it's debt-free. Its bonuses and incentives being paid since 1959. You see that 63.8 billion. That's far more than the global sales, because as a direct sales company, it creates more millionaires in the world than any other company except Microsoft. And in this case, that is the reverse of what you have in a job. In a job, it's very pyramid in payment. In a business like this, you are creating your own bonus and incentive as you go. Very exciting. Now, it offers a 6-month money back guarantee. So I was 25, finishing up some intense university when I was shown this plan, working 2 part-time jobs. So in that kind of frame of mind, I didn't have a lot of expertise or understanding of how I could do this, but I really wanted the outcome. The idea that there was a customer satisfaction guarantee, that was really exciting to me. And a business that I can start for under $100, affordable to me. Those are a couple things you do want to get in touch with who invited you, and keep in mind when it comes to learning about moving forward, because I'm going to go over the compensation now and go that way. So what are patents? I said here in the green there. Patents are intellectual properties, unique intellectual properties specific to those brands, like the anti-hair fall system I mentioned, that can't be copied by another hair brand. Another such patent in our skincare, the patent of correcting skin pigmentation. The patent of a great, we call it our Botox cream, something that's extremely anti-aging and regenerates your cells. Tons of patents, 900 plus. To get more information on that, definitely ask who invited you. Okay. So Amway is a product platform. As I mentioned, it's the #1 direct selling business in the world over 8 consecutive years in a row. It has a diverse product selection. Example, you may be here and you may have an interest in the beauty more than what I described. You may not be really product minded. You may just realize that, hey, I spend money on those kind of things you mentioned. It makes sense that instead of paying a store, I'd rather pay myself. That makes logic sense. You may be very conscious consumer, in which case you've suddenly been introduced to the brands and products you'll never find something as good as. So whatever that diverse product selection with a company like this allows this to be something that anyone can become a part of. And this backtracks us to the character when I talked about how we want to build our business with the right kind of people, where I was coming from. So to build a business in over 50 states, over 100 countries and territories, to have business owner representation, Amway is a great brand, it's a great product. But beyond that, in terms of people, where we really come, how to be people before profit. We work and we are a team here on the Zoom call called BWW. So BWW stands for Brit Worldwide. It's a coaching and mentorship program. And these terms may seem a little odd. Like, let's say in business school or in a corporate, you expect president, vice president, manager, general manager, etc. BWW is amazing because until you don't know. Any single person here in this video is earning money, and the range of that you wouldn't know because it's so equality driven. You know, a coach and a mentor are people who are actively getting really successful results in their business. So they're not somebody who is just going to, it's not a coach like how I first saw being an athlete. My coaches have always yelled at me from the sidelines. Being in BWW, my coaches they have a lifestyle and they're telling me the truth as modern, as present as today. They're telling me how to move forward, right? So it's a very different concept of coaching. Now, mentorship, these can be synonymous. I'll get in a little bit detail with you, but I'll say this. If you were sick, you would go to a doctor. You would not go to a plumber. If your plumbing is not working, you would go to a plumber. You wouldn't go to the doctor unless they're equally qualified, right? So you want to get advice from somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. I was on my social media today and I saw a post of an individual who, it was forwarded to me, of an individual who's giving financial advice to people. And this is somebody who has no financial wealth themselves, but they're giving advice to other people. And I thought, that's what the world is like today, that just anybody can go on social media and share things, you know? And I was just like, huh. I've seen people, they're giving financial advice. They actually owe someone money. They actually have asked around, wondering where they can get money, but they are now promoting how to teach people to make money. Be super careful of where you get your information. This is why I really appreciated being invited to a session like this, to get the information first, and then to ask my questions and understand, and to see that there's a lot of people who are in something, and a lot of really professional people. That's what BWW did for me. It helped me really trust what I was in, and that trust allowed me to feel really empowered and move forward and make a difference in my life. So you can do, that's what our mentorship program is about. Business conferences, really legitimate conferences, streaming a video. Another great thing, it doesn't say here, that I really like about BWW is their charitable organization. So learning, and in this, we see people of all walks of life. I've seen people who have never had the privilege of going to university become millionaires in an opportunity that was extended to them because they didn't have the private school head that I had. You know, I've seen people be a physician or a lawyer or just a manager. I've seen people of all ages. And personally, just before I move on here, as a female, it's so important to be part of an organization where your gender is not a factor. I've met some of the most respectful individuals here, so that I've never felt that because I'm a woman, I can't get ahead. Whereas in a lot of corporate positions that I would see, that would be a real problem, actually. We don't like to talk about these things, but it's the truth. And so I really respect the men and women in BWW for showing me that there are ways to make money and feel really respected and confident. And so this is the best organization. So these two together is how we build a business. You see, Amway is the business opportunity with the products. And I explained that concept to you. BWW is the business training available, the mentorship, having guidance, you know, like if Amway is the Force, BWW is a Jedi, not a Sith, if anyone understands that joke. Now, developing customers and associates is how we build a business and make money. So now, this is where you would like to pay attention and take some notes. We're going to go into our compensation plan. So on the left-hand side here, at the very bottom, you see here it says 1 PV equals 3 BV. PV stands for point value, and BV stands for business volume. So what does that mean? This energy drink I just opened here, this costs money. So if you're getting like a Red Bull at a convenience store, let's say you're dropping $4 for this. So now Amway has a better quality product, so it's healthier, sugar-free, among other things. And it's also less expensive per can than a Red Bull. So I grab this product and I take a sip. So that $3 that I put into the can gives me 1 point. Now, how does this move forward? Among other things, switching where we shop here, those items I mentioned, you're washing your clothes, you and your family, your household, brushing your teeth, washing your hair, grabbing snacks, drinking water, these things cost money. So in your compensation plan as a business owner, that's considered, the money is considered the business volume. It gives you a point value. And we want to work to up this performance bonus scale to increase the profit of that consumer good. So number one, the point value. In this example, this shows 150 points, the equivalent of about $450. This is showing a couple. As a single female, this was a very simple for me. Food and drink was my 150 points. It's a very simple. Most people in Canada spend over $1,000 a month on fast food. So learning from my business guides how to make sure that my money was working for me, that's something you do. So you understand the points and how to make them. But you're looking to redirect $450 worth of what you're spending elsewhere in your own business. And by doing this, you're getting 150 points. Now, if you're selling this as well, in this case, it shows that 100 points were sold, meaning someone was interested in this beverage. I drank it, I shared. Someone's interested in such a great product. Perhaps someone, I'll show you a really cool product here. This is a lip that I'm wearing. So I show off this light. Someone wants to get that. Let's say I sold this. It's cheaper than something in Sephora, but way nicer too. Then they'll get it from me. And as a distributor, I create 11% retail profit of this product, direct to me from the company. Second, what I'm personally using is calculated. So this creates the points. Okay. Now, when we want to create money from the points, we're going to get paid from the dollar value attached to the points. Okay. 11% of that dollar value, in this case, 11% of 300 is 33. Now, this performance bonus, because it's 100, you see how it takes me into the first bracket. It's under 300, it's over 100. So that's the 3% of the dollar value. So that's $13.50 of this dollar value here, $4.50. Then 7% is a sales incentive. So you'll be taught by your business mentor how to get the sales incentive to increase your return on profit. Okay. And the kind of tax benefits, I'll start off with this, that come with owning and operating a business from your household. Really understand those, because right now, I was speaking to someone today. He drives a taxi, and he told me that he creates $6,000 a month, but it's all like, he's like, half of it is taxed. So his incentive is always to get things in cash, you know. So interesting to me to learn that much money is taken for your taxes, all what you're earning. So having a business, you're already giving let's say you're giving your money to other stores when you buy things, you're giving tax revenue away. What are you really taking home at the end of the day? Understand that the very simple power of this that I'm showing you increases this monthly income, the $67, that's paying you back instead of paying someone else's business. That's really exciting to me. So in a year, you could save over 100, earn over 100 to $1,000 just from this simple step of switching where you shop. The next thing to expand is if you become very retail focused, or if you're very good at sales. When I started my business, I'll be very honest with you, sales is not what I was interested in, but there's so much potential here for sales if it's something you want to learn to really increase profit. And with today in the internet, it's so easy and incredible to do. But I was patiently taught how to sell, and it's become something that is not what I thought it was. It's not being pressured. It's not being forced or coerced. It's simply being part of an amazing customer program. So Amway has a customer program that gives customers perk points and rewards. It loops them in on a 6-month, 180-day satisfaction guarantee. You can't get that as a consumer somewhere else. So it's actually showing people how to be a better respected consumer with the top brands. And then you move forward from that. If you're doing the business, you're really getting people excited. I got a call of someone who's so thankful to me for one of our products called Sleep Health Gummy. It's a melatonin gummy. She has trouble sleeping because she works long hours in a hospital saving lives. God bless her. And she just needs to sleep, but she can't sleep. And this is the only product that's helped her sleep. I felt so good being the person to introduce it to her. So moving forward from that, how do you level up? How do you go from creating $60 a month, $800 a year towards an annual income in the thousands? This shows that if you are sharing this business plan with the right people, so in each of these blue circles, let's say this blue circle is me and this is you. You met me, you mentioned that there's a business plan information session I can attend and learn from. So I attended this session and I heard somebody just kind of talk these numbers. I was excited. I got started with you. I would duplicate what you're doing, meaning I would switch where I shop, share some products with customers, share what I'm doing, learn how to do that with the right education. And I'd be part of your network. I'm earning some money with you and you're earning some money. In this case, you're earning in the 12% bracket. Each blue circle here is someone who's doing the 150 points in a month. So they're earning their check. And then because those accumulate, a second kind of income kicks in for you outside of what I described, which is called your group points. Those households, imagine each blue circle is a household that has stopped paying a big Walmart brand that doesn't care about their kids' lifestyle or their lifestyle. They've started working somewhere where they can create wealth for themselves. They're working with people like us who look out for one another, and they're being educated on how to be just financially smarter, more savvy. And by doing that, they're making money from what they're shopping. They're sharing, they're excited. And this is something you can expand across North America. It's not rigid to where you're living, which is exciting. And as that happens, you can earn over $300 a month extra just from this simple step. It's really not difficult. And our new thing that started just this September is an additional incentive we call the Bronze Foundation. It gives you a 30% increase once you reach the 12% level because you're helping people make money. And that is a real life changer. So you can get a 30% increase 12 times in 18 months, which is great. And then to move that forward, once you've learned on the BWW side, for me, when I got started here in this slide, I was very excited to learn how to make some money out of my shopping habits. At this slide, I was so excited because I learned things I could never learn in business school. I learned about being a better communicator, meeting really cool people. I learned that there's so much more, that I got to travel a bit with the business. And what I learned from there to there, through the education, through actually talking with people and helping them understand what they can earn for themselves, that's what propelled me towards this kind of monthly income. And this level shows 21%. 21% here. Performance bonus, you can earn over $1,400 a month. When I saw this and I started earning this in university, I was like sayonara to my jobs because I really realized that if I had another option, I didn't care so much about them. I didn't really have a passion for accounting. I studied it because it was a good profession. It made sense. And you may relate to what I said, or you may totally love your job. But in either scenario, you definitely are worth more. And there's these little things we're just not taught. Like I said, like we're taught how to become a creditor our whole life. Learn how to become an entrepreneur, literally from what you're already doing, not from learning something like Bitcoin that's way up, it's way obscure, it's very high risk, not something like getting that stock and this stock and, oh, you can't actually get that money back until you're retired, something like that. Which brings me also, as I wrap this up, to my final point. So this is a monthly income here. All that stands behind this point value is people earning money with you, people learning another way to add wealth to themselves, households retaining more. It's just households switching where they shop, being shared and educated as you go. So this includes in our Bronze Foundation, unique only to this compensation plan, which is the only compensation plan that is totally unlimited. so you can outperform anyone in your organization, is adding over $400 to $500 in addition to what you're earning. That's exciting, you know? And to move forward, when you reach the top of the performance bonus scale and you're working, the cool thing is you learn how to do this from people who have already done it. And you reach that, you're earning over $3,000 a month. It shows here with this bronze increase, an extra 800 plus an extra 1,100 in addition to that. How exciting, you know? So yes, the yellow is in addition to, FYI. So when you're doing that and you're earning that, this money here replaces most jobs, most starting jobs. It's even more than that. So it says in this blue box, we call this the platinum level. Q12 platinums qualify for an additional $18,000 bonus, all expenses paid, trips, etc. So this is a monthly income. When you learn how to create this and sustain it, you achieve annual income in addition as well. So there's tons of money here. To be frank, we as a team always focus on how we can help you in your immediate situation first, and then you are taught how to expand that. It makes no sense to learn how to earn $1 million if you can't figure out 100 first, then 1,000. And I really appreciated that realistic guidance in money, realistic expectation in building something. Okay. And then just to recap here, the ways to make money, there's the customer price. Your price is your retail margin. Your group points and your points from the PV, we said that's your monthly bonus, accumulated cash and trips. You hopefully will get to hear from my mentors of this call. They have helped so many people earn this. And that is what I really fell in love with. That for someone, even myself, to move to the next level, I can't do it without helping somebody earn their own significant wealth with me. And moving forward here, I mentioned it's not a pyramidal compensation. In this diagram, A, B, and C is positionally lower than A and B, but earns the most because they have outperformed with the compensation plan we have, which is the only and unique compensation plan that allows this. So that was also exciting for me. I don't have to wait till I'm 50 years old in a company to be the CEO. I can be the CEO right away. Okay. Amway is partnered with tons of places. One here is Disney, for example. So it allows unique opportunities to visit their theme park for families, all expenses paid. Really very cool. And here we have a partnership. You were invited to understand this business plan. You may have more questions. These things, very characteristic, very about your character and integral to us is your desire to learn and grow, your integrity and your accountability, your fact-based decision-making, your strong values and a positive attitude, your willingness to accept mentorship. I was able to do these 5 things, and therefore I have understood a lot. I've seen that these make a big difference. You may think they don't, but they do. So make sure you discuss these in your follow-up and you understand how to be a really valued member on your team. So if you're going to get value from a team, you also give value in return. And the first step to start that is how to get your business started right. So schedule that follow-up meeting and study what happened here. Make sure you have your questions ready and you're prepared at your meeting. That always makes a big difference to me when I meet with somebody. I like to know that they're thinking and what they're thinking, and continue building that case for yourself. And definitely discuss your financial goal. So thank you so much. I'm going to hand it back to the host.
Thanks, Gurjot. That was wonderful. And we had a great fun listening to you and understanding a business concept. And that Roop and I have been busy building for the last several years. And that's allowed us to replace our incomes and have, the option of having time and money. But that was wonderful. And Roop and I and Gurjot, we all highly recommend you guys sit down if you're new with the person who introduced you, go over the details, have your questions answered. listen to a few more podcasts, come to another meeting, and continue to build a case for yourself that you want to be launched in the business and we want to work with you because we want to work with quality people. I'll have my wife say just a few words, and then we'll go up to the training, which all of you must have the link for. Rupa, over to you.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's a blessed day today and fantastic presentation, Gurjot. It's always a pleasure to see you grow up from a little girl to an entrepreneur, and such a successful one at that. Anyways, that's good news for all of you guys who are here on the call for the first time. All you need to do is meet your mentor at that level so that they could take you to a higher level. So you don't have to walk in with any skill sets whatsoever. Like, my background is an engineer. My husband's background is a CA, chartered accountant. But all you need to have is an entrepreneur mindset and an expectation to achieve a passive source of income and an alignment towards helping others. And if you are blessed to have these traits in you, then of course you're at the right time and the right place. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless. And for all the existing partners, we'll move on to the training. Thank you.